What if I told you that there is a magic key to learning, a choice that separates those who master their craft from those who stay stuck in their comfort zone? So I've got a question for you. Are you the kind of person who you sit back, you think about what you've learned, and then you wonder if it will work? Or are you the kind of person that you get out there, you try it, you fail, and in the end you actually make these things work? What I want to share with you is what I have found to be the real magic behind learning, developing confidence, and building skills that stick. And it's not just about knowing, it's also about doing. So when I was about 17, 18, I fell in love with magic, and it all started with a TV advert for a video series called Jaw Droppers.
Eye-popping, traffic-stopping, jaw-dropping magic that anyone can do anytime, anywhere.
So this was on VHS, so the old big cassettes that you used to get. I had to mail order it, so it was sent to me in the mail. I sat there impatiently waiting for this VHS set to arrive. So this was long before YouTube and TikTok, where now, in the space of maybe 30 seconds, you can discover the secrets that magicians have kept locked in the vault of mystery for eons, that's guarded by men with beards and low voices. You shall not pass! So back then, if you wanted to learn magic, you had to really work for it. So around about the same time, I also was watching the David Blaine street magic specials, and I'll never forget there was this one episode where he blew the mind of a guy named Fruit Loops.
Oh, you're saying that?
Hence the reason why I've got a pack of cards in my hand. So he got Fruit Loops to take a card and he signed it. So for the purposes of this, we're going to take this card. Oh, look at that, he's a real magician. Jokes, but never mind. But he took that card that Fruit Loops had signed and he bent it like so. So the card ended up with a real big bend in it. Can you see it? Real big bend in it. There we go. Get my fingers out of the way. Real big bend in this card. He then took that bent card, put it into about the middle of the deck so that Fruit Loops, oh, look at that, and they drop in them. So that Fruit Loops could see it. He put it on top. And then at the click of David Blaine's fingers, boop, the card appeared back up on top of the deck, and it was Fruit Loops' card. It was magic. Everybody went crazy and I was addicted to magic forever. But I had to find out how that was done. So I then, next time the TV special was on TV, I sat there patiently with my dad's VCR, the video recorder thing, and I recorded the TV show. Now I know that that's piracy, but I was sat there, I was pressing play, pause, rewind, play, pause, trying to figure out how David Blaine had done that particular trick. And quite clearly you can see now that I am now officially a wizard and very good at magic, albeit with a little bit less showmanship with that particular trick. So that's how I initially learned the secrets of magic. That was of course until I became a member of the Magic Circle, but that's a story for another day. But here's the thing, knowing how a trick works, it doesn't make you a magician. You might know the mechanics, but if you can't perform it, well, then you're just a person on YouTube revealing tricks for some kind of validation from strangers who don't care about you, but you think that they do because you have some weird belief that you now have unlocked the code to the universe because you know the secret to a card trick. So there's a massive difference between knowing and doing. And early on, I made a classic mistake. I practiced my tricks in front of a mirror, or I would only do the tricks on friends and family. But here's the problem with that. The people who know you, they already have a fixed idea, a fixed belief about who you are. Now, it's not their fault. They love you and they want the best for you, but their feedback is filtered through this belief about who you are and who you have always been. So if you want real growth, you have to step outside of that circle. You need fresh eyes, you need strangers, you need real people. In saying that, I've realized that might sound like I'm inferring that your family are in actual fact aliens. Although, judging by the amount of apparent UFO sightings in America recently, there is a very good chance that you could be related to the Coneheads.
Beldar and Primat.
Square George, I have re-radiated leftover starch discs.
Ah, pizza. I will enjoy it.
Now, when I lived back in the UK and I was part of the Magic Society, I met a hypnotist who shared a story that changed how I thought about learning forever. So he had spent years studying hypnosis, reading every book, mastering the theory, but he was too scared to practice on real people. And the reason for this was because he was scared that he would fail. He didn't want to fail in front of other people. Then he had this moment where he saw somebody who was a complete beginner in hypnosis just get out there, and they practiced. And he realized that all this time of just getting good on the theory wasn't enough, because this beginner hypnotist that he was watching improved tenfold very quickly, simply because they were putting in the reps. They weren't afraid about mistakes. In fact, they actually embraced the mistakes. And that's when he learned that practice is where the real transformation starts to happen. And here's the thing, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. One of my mentors back in the early days said that everybody needs a place to be bad. So when I started performing for strangers, I allowed myself to mess up, and I messed up a lot. I dropped cards, I fumbled tricks. People saw me doing little moves. They saw right through my magic that I was trying to keep a secret. But each time that happened, I learned, I adjusted, and I got a little bit better. So you could see those as failures, but they weren't failures, they were feedback. And that feedback, to me, it was priceless. For me, it wasn't just about perfecting the trick, it was about building confidence. It was about learning how to handle nerves, connecting with people, learning how to handle conflict in those awkward moments. And that's when I realized real magic, it isn't in the tricks. It's in the communication, it's in the charisma, it's in the connection, it's in the showmanship. So I want you to think, what is it that's holding you back? Is it fear of failure? Is it a fear of what people might think? Because here's the truth. Failure is the point. It's how you find the edges of what you're capable of, and it allows you to then push past them. The same principle applies whether you're learning magic, whether you're building confidence, or whether you're mastering communication. You've got to stop practicing for yourself in isolation, and you've got to get out there, you've got to perform, you've got to speak, and you've got to start engaging. So my challenge to you is this. I want you to take whatever it is that you're learning, a skill that you're trying to develop, and I want you to find a place to be bad, whether that's starting a conversation, whether that's getting good at delivering presentations, or whether it's performing your own magic in your industry. I want you to think about how can you get out there and how can you do it. I'd love for you to drop a comment below. Tell me, what is one thing that you're going to take out of this video into the real world this week? I'd love to hear your story. And remember, the only difference between knowing and doing is actually doing. If you've enjoyed this content, I would love to have you as part of the community. So just hit that subscribe button below, and I'll see you in the next video. ASMR. Apparently, that helps with the algorithm these days.